Hello creatives. Since getting serious about YouTube, one statement has really changed the way I see things. YouTubers need to think more like business people, and business people need to think more like YouTubers. I've learned that lesson from Nick Himo, a business coach and YouTuber. And in the following conversation, he talks me through the business model canvas of my secret D&D YouTube channel. You are a huge part that I tried out the business model canvas. I've heard of it before, like throughout the last year, basically. But I'm in the process of like rebranding one of my channels. And I was like, why not go through this whole like step-by-step process? And man, it made a huge difference. It makes things a lot clearer. And like having this grid and having like a bunch of sticky notes really helped me to kind of like organize my thoughts and like make me feel like more secure about what I'm doing.
Can we switch it pretty quickly? Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
Absolutely. It's totally a conversation, yeah.
So I'm interested to know, the business model canvas is a great way to map out what your business looks like and help other people understand what your plan is as well, or understand how your business works. But in this case, it's for the future, so that they'll be able to understand what it's going to look like going forward. So let's just ask a few questions to help understand what you're planning to do. So who are the people that you're making this channel for?
Right. Okay. So I have it right in front of me. Just a little primer. The channel I'm talking about is purely about Dungeons and Dragons and making stuff for it. So it has nothing to do with, or very little to do with self-development. Basically, who I'm making this for is D&D players and DMs who just want to improve their game and kind of like it's a lot about just like making little bits, little things that help you enjoy the game a little bit more, or like make it easier to play. So that's
okay.
Like,
so the customer segment is Dungeons and Dragons gamers, and the value proposition is you're going to create content that helps them improve the way they play.
Yes. Yeah. If you want to break it down that way, yes, you can say that.
And it's going to be through your YouTube channel. That's how they're going to interact with the content. Are you planning to get it to them any other way?
YouTube is going to be the main focus of it. I am experimenting as well with having an Instagram setup and having a TikTok setup, but those are kind of like secondary channels.
And great, this is really interesting because we're making assumptions on this business model canvas that YouTube is the right approach and the right approach for you to reach those. So what we can do is we can test these assumptions. You can potentially create YouTube videos, you could do TikToks, you could do Instagrams, and try and see what resonates better with people as well. Maybe. There could be other ways to test it. You could see what's out there already, or you can see what's not out there already on those platforms. So interesting. And I suppose for the customer relationship, in this case, you want to ideally get to a place where they're fans, right? You want to get to a place ideally where you get 1,000 true fans, because then you've got a business on top of this.
That is exactly what I'm aiming for, yes.
And so at the moment, in the beginning, you won't be charging any money. So revenue streams will be free because you'll be doing this for free, right? And there won't be any money coming out of it.
What I'm planning to do is from the get-go is every video where it makes sense, offer a digital product. So some kind of download, a character sheet or a map or something like that. And most likely going to be on a donation basis at the very beginning.
Perfect. So donations, great. But again, you're testing it. These are assumptions. We don't know whether people will pay for them or whether, because I don't know. I think it's good to try, but you'll have to. I think you should compare free versus donation and see if there's any differences in how people interact and how many downloads and stuff you get.
My plan was to go like through Gumroad or a similar service where you host and you have to have like it has to be a purchase transaction and the price is just zero.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, then that's fine. Then maybe this is a red herring of a. It's not a path. I mean,
it is an additional step that they have to go through, and like
the only reason why I draw attention to it is Gary Vaynerchuk talks about jab, 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 right hook, and so sometimes if you can just give for free without asking at all, it's going to help you build longer. Like for the long term, it's better, but for the short term, the donations are good. But you're I'm making an assumption that you're not going to make much from the donations. So I would just go fully free, but just make them like you more because they're like, wow, this guy's doing that for free. I think that's more likely to build a strong, but again, that's an assumption that I'm making.
I'm willing to test that. I like that idea.
Worth testing, good. Okay, and so it seems like the key activities are making videos. So how often are you going to be making the videos?
My goal is to have 2 videos a month.
Makes sense, because it's quite a lot of work with the making of the the things on the side. Digital.
I mean, I spent the last year and a half like pursuing YouTube in one way or another, and I know frequency is really key to growth, but I just gotta be realistic with my schedule.
Because I've found by being consistent and by doing it once every week, wow, you get a lot done, because it's another one that you can't steer a stationary ship. You need the ship to be moving forward, and then you can steer it.
Oh man, that's such a beautiful picture. Yeah,
it's true, right? So you've got, same with a bicycle. You can't steer. You're not going to go in the direction if you're not moving forward. You've got to be moving forward. And so I would half the ambition of your videos and get them out every week if you could.
But see, that's where the filmmaker comes in. It's just like, it needs to look pretty. And it needs
but that's why what I do is I just set up my A roll, so my main framing looks good, and I try to get a nice picture, and then as long as I've got my good A roll and I've got my nice photo, and then I can try and do a little bit of B roll, then that's I think the most efficient way of doing it. Otherwise, you get too ambitious. But the key thing is, I think that you should reduce the amount of research you need to do, reduce the ambition, unless of course you decide that you're going to go full filmmaker, full on, amazing. But it's harder to do that.
I'll consider it. Let's put it that way.
Consider it. Okay. And so we've talked about the key activities, key resources. What are the things that you need to be able to do this?
I mean, I have all the filming equipment. I need bits of cardboard and like other maker tools like knives and whatnot. The main thing I need to make these videos is time.
I thought you were going to say that. So you've got to find a way to be ruthlessly efficient to do this. So that's fair. Okay. And is there anyone else that can help you do this?
100% I want to be able to hire an editor. That's like always been on top of my list. I can't commit to this financially right now. I don't want to. And I don't think there's much point in anybody helping in the production of the video.
It's interesting. Ali says that after you've made your first 5 videos, you should get an editor.
I edit videos like for a living or like as part of what I do like on a weekly basis. And I don't want to do it as well for myself.
So it would make sense for you to get an editor.
100%. Yes.
So yeah, I'm trying to hire someone to help me with filming and editing. So I'm really trying to focus on this as well. I think that would really help. And then lastly, what are the main costs that you've got?
I don't really have an overhead for this one, since all the infrastructure is in place. And yeah, like I said, like pieces of cardboard and whatnot, but this is like, 2-digit expenses, if at all.
So you're very lucky. So you've got your back end's pretty solid. You just need to, meaning by business model canvas there, that you've got everything you need. You just need to find time to be more efficient so that you can get this stuff done. That's all.
Yeah.
That's cool. We got a good understanding of your business model for.
Like I said, it really helped like kind of make things a little bit clearer and do things with more intention, really. You good on the business model canvas questions, or?
Yep, I'm done with those.
Thank you for watching the video until the end. If you want to know more about the business model canvas and YouTube, check out one of Nick's videos and the resources down below. I know the audio on my part was a little bit crappy, but somehow I messed up the footage from my main camera and was stuck with the computer audio. That is definitely something I'm improving on. But if you enjoyed the content and learned something, let me know by hitting the subscribe button. And tell me about some of the creative challenges that you're facing right now in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next one.